I've got any battery. Okay, we go.
Got it.
Well, it's telling me we are now live on Facebook inside the Leaders Way. And today we have a special treat because we're being joined by the amazing Rebecca Robertson, wealth strategist, financial extraordinaire, sort your money out. And we're frozen already. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Rebecca? I feel like I'm a reporter now.
I'm here. I can hear you.
Like Oxfordshire.
I can hear you, but I'm not sure. And there's people watching.
It may just be.
But you have got really poor signal. So I'm just going to ask people. There's a couple of people watching in the comments. Can you hear me if I'm talking, or is it because Skye's frozen that you can't hear either of us? I'm not sure. Skye's definitely frozen. Wonder if I can just stream and go straight into your group yourself.
This could be very interesting. I'm wondering. Hold fire.
Okay.
Hold fire. Let's see if I can just hotspot.
So if anyone that's watching and can hear me, then do you know who I am? Do you know what I do? And pop in the comments. I'd love to know where people are. Pop in the comments and tell me where you are. So I'm in Kent, which is near London. I've got a slight Kent accent, but I can put on a phone voice and sound very posh. So I'd love to hear people that are listening in. Where are you? Now there's a couple of people watching. Where are you? In the country. She's moving. I can see her moving around. Can anyone do an accent? So I can't do accents, but I can put on a posh accent and I can do a very London accent. Can anyone do any posh accents? Or my daughter thinks she sounds Irish and she doesn't. She sounds Pakistan when she does her Irish accent. She is rubbish at accents. I can't see any comments. Is anyone talking to me? Or people can't even hear me. I don't even know.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Perfect. Well, I think I'm in some stable internet.
I can see folders. She's in a new room.
Yeah, so I'm in my parents' very hectic office.
What do they do?
It was not the background we were going for. But hey, we've got internet in here, so we're in the farm office, everyone.
Oh, is it? Oh, it's a farm office. Wow, look at all that.
Well, yeah, it's a lot going on this farm. So
I can hear you, and you are stable, so that is good.
Perfect. Well, nothing like a great start to the conversation. Thank you for holding the fort for me.
No one commented. I was asking if anyone can do any accents, and no one commented. Can you do an accent?
Yes, but I'm a bad one. I used to be really good. I can't do it on demand. I used to be quite good at accents because acting was my background.
Ah,
but I'm somewhat.
Come on. Let's hear it. Got to do it with a straight face.
No, I can't do it with a straight face. I was once in an American play and I had to say the word oregano to get into the voice. Oregano, that's right. Okay. Anyway, that play, I just want to say, went to the National Theatre, which was quite exciting.
Ooh.
Yeah, my little claim to fame. But I actually I was in touch with my drama teacher this week because I don't know if you saw, but I did a post around like being dyslexic and playing to your strengths.
Yeah.
And she commented just saying like how drive and stuff always shone. And I said to her, like, she's part of the reason why I've started this business is because being like playing to my strengths and doing drama gave me such confidence to be on camera and be on stage. Anyway, we're digressing because this is not about me. This is about you. So as I was saying, let's just start this again. Rebecca Robertson, the financial extraordinaire, sort your money out.
Thank you.
Very kindly have me on your we did a live stream last week or week before for your amazing book launch that was like #1 bestseller in how
8
many
categories?
8 categories.
Mm.
So that is absolutely phenomenal. But we're here today because I'm really looking forward to speaking to you about this, because you are someone who I wanted to work with for a while.
Why? You said that before. Why?
Because I like this like quiet, what's the word? Like,
what's she gonna say?
No, I can see like bags of potential, but I always felt with you there was just something like I'm not quite ready yet. And one of the things that we talked about, or I want to talk about today, is around like stepping into your power and leading a business your way. And I had that whole like, sod, you're not ready yet. Like, it's about now is the moment and doing things your way. So I'm really looking forward to sharing like all about your business journey. And I know you've been through some major like and changes.
I've gone through some real shit times this year, as you well know. And before I went on to like the first program I went on with you, so I'm now on the second one, which has got like 2 weeks left. I'd just gone through a really bad time with an ops manager or an OBM or pain in the ass, whatever you want to call them.
Do you want to share a bit more about that? Because I think lots of people resonate with the top line story of that.
Yeah, and I think I was thinking this morning, it's really interesting, this whole like scaling your business and that leadership piece and how you want to show up and your business model. And I'm 10 years in business, right? You think, oh, you know, she's got it all together, she's a financial advisor, and I totally have. Like, when it comes to my regulated business, that's all good. Like, I can do that standing on my head. But it was going from, okay, I've got this business that's working, but I don't just want to do that. I feel I'm very much creative, and I want to create these other things, and I want to do these other things. And a lot of that was online. It might be courses and memberships and programs and stuff like that. Whereas the traditional work as I do as a financial advisor is one-to-one. So like, I've just come off a call with a couple, they've got like £500,000 in pensions, they've want to send their kids to university in like 5 and 10 years time, their kids, they've had some money from a property that they've sold, they've got some money per month, and they want to just create this financial plan. And I basically teach them, I do everything for them. They pay me a fee, somewhere around £5,000, and I just set it all up and I do it, and I do that in a regulated way and give them the financial advice. But there's a lot of people that are not got inherited money, not got £500,000 pensions, and you know, I see a lot of women in business that are growing businesses that then are doing the same things they are personally as what they're then seeing in their, like, the bad habits in their personal life is what's coming through in their business when it comes to money. So I sort of felt quite passionate about helping this sort of group of people so that they get to a point where they then would need a financial advisor. And I believe that will change the world. So that's my main purpose in all of this, that my passion is led by the fact that I believe that we need to reduce the wealth gap between the rich and the poor, reduce the wage gap and the retirement gap in men and women. And we will do that by empowering women with their finances. So at the beginning of this year, I created a planner. It's called the Wealth Accelerator Planner here, and it's all for business owners. And my whole model and my whole funnels were built around that planner. And I love that planner, and it's amazing. And I took on an OBM or an ops manager. I'm not quite sure.
I hate more of a title. We could do a whole episode just on titles.
Just on frigging bullshit titles, right? Do absolutely naffle objective aims. Take up as much as your time and achieve nothing. Yeah, I'm being sarcastic. I was burned, and I went for a really difficult time, and I wasn't the only one. And since then I found I wasn't the only one. There's other people, which is bad but great at the same time. I don't mean to take pleasure in it, but at least I wasn't the only one. It wasn't just me. But I went through a real learning, and I got to the end of that process completely burnt out, and just really doubting myself when it came to how I wanted to show up. And there's a lot online at the moment about, you know, sort of building this online business, and I've had sort of some different messages from different coaches and different mentors, and I was sort of really doubting everything. I was questioning everything. And I knew that I didn't want to do things the way I'd done them before, which was basically I do everything, and I end up being burnt out. And but neither was working. Bringing in a team wasn't working. Doing it all myself wasn't working, and I couldn't work out how I really wanted to scale and really wanted to grow what I was doing. So that's why I came onto your first program, because I took on she's now a business assistant, but at the time she was just for your course. It was just for this particular 6 or 8 week focus period to help me from an operations perspective to work out my SOPs, my standard operating procedures, to start documenting things and getting the team working more effectively. And I bear in mind, I'll give a slight caveat here. I'm an ex-regional sales manager. So although I've run my business for 10 years, prior to that, I worked in a business as a sales manager. So that is processes and systems and stuff, you know, managing team and managing staff, self-employed and employed staff. So it's not like I don't get what a SOP is and what a process is. And it's not like I don't get what you should be monitoring as a bit. I analyze figures all the time. So this is not about the fact that I don't have the capacity, or I'm scared of it, or any of that. It just got so overwhelming that there's only so many hats you can physically do. And where do you start to go, what's my zone of genius? What should I be giving away? What should I be doing differently? And it just leaves you with so many questions that I felt like what you were able to help me with was, okay, you're not going to give me all the answers because nobody can, but I felt intuitively that the process you were going to take me through would help me figure out what I needed. And that's what it did.
I think you're where you're saying in terms of like that overwhelm, you start having all these conversations, and I see this, and I've been there, whereby you're getting all this advice and you're seeing all these different things and you're getting influenced, and all of a sudden you're like, blimmin' heck. And I was having a conversation with someone just this morning, like, actually, what should I be doing? Everyone's saying I should be doing everything, but I can't do everything. And I talk about building a raft and crossing the river, and you've got to just build one raft at a time. You had done that really successfully in your bread and butter, I call it, like the mainstream part of your regulated business. And you had really sound products in your online business as well, but it was sucking up way too much of your time, and not
stress.
Financially compared.
It was really stressful.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really stressful. And it didn't. I just asked the question quite a few times, what is bringing me joy? So I've been in another mastermind as well, and it's like sometimes I'm not sure like where the messages come from. Like some of the messages I was like, is that a Skye thing, or is this mastermind thing? Because they're sort of similar but different, if you like. And sometimes when you get two good messages on a similar path, it just resonates so wonderfully. But it's all about what's bringing you joy. What is lighting you up? What is easy? Like what is good? What is like where is it do you want to be? And I think one of the things I definitely got from, which did come from you, and I remember it, is that it's like, what's the version that I want? How I want to show up? Like almost in our head we're sort of taught that that's almost selfish. And I looked at the business and I thought, hang on a minute, this is not what X, Y, and Z coach thinks I should do, or how X, Y, and Z audience think I should show up, or in my perception of how I started 10 years ago, how I should be showing up. This is me as I am right now, what I need right now. And I just said to myself, why aren't I asking this question? Like I'm literally avoiding that question because I don't know what I don't like the answer, or because I'm trying to avoid coming across in my head that I'm being selfish. And part of it is a bit because I didn't want my husband to be right. I said that really quietly because he's got an office behind me. And there was just things that my husband for years has been saying, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Why are you doing this? And I was like, oh, he doesn't get it. He works in a service-based business and he's not in the online space. He doesn't get it. But what I've realised is what, like, I don't want to be, someone said to me yesterday, social media, right? They said, basically, Instagram, it's all about, they're now saying you have to go on there and be an entertainer. That's how you have to show up. And I looked at the person and I was like, if I was, my job was about, I don't know, promoting my services as an equine instructor, riding instructor, which you never know, might be me in the future. I'd love that job. Thank you very much. I might retrain in 10 years time, who knows. Then I might then show more videos and entertain people with videos and such like around equine issues and problems. But me as a financial advisor and giving financial advice, people don't want to see me gyrating on Instagram or TikTok. Now, anyone saw me in lockdown, hey, anyone came to my party, my book party, I can get down like better than anyone, right? And my daughter has the same skills, which is quite shocking. But my point is I looked at it and went, but it's not about what people perceive, it's how do I want to show up within the role that I'm in that feels aligned. So I talk about in my book about being aligned with your finances. And I was asking myself the same kind of question. How do I want to be aligned? What feels that just flows, that just happens? And then I'd look at the statistics and it'd be like, so I'm getting nothing from LinkedIn, I'm getting very little from Instagram, I'm getting very little from doing this and this and this and this, and speak like some speaking opportunities, I get nothing from it, but I'm getting 80% of my business through this way, which is actually nothing to do with 3/4 of the things that I'm actually turning up for. So if I got rid of those 3/4 of the things and I showed up in this way and I just did that, why am I still wanting to do that other stuff? And I found out from a session that we did is that it was a limiting belief around how if I was busy, I had to be busy to earn money. And if I was really busy, and so that's why I didn't do everything last minute and everything's rush, because then it was a case of I'm really busy, it's like this, I'm important, but if I'm like, I can't describe it, it's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy that I end up being right because I'm so busy, and then therefore I'm important, and then everything's working really well. But actually, if I keep myself overwhelmed and not able to move on and everything wasn't a breeze, that then I don't even know what the answer is, but I could just recognize that there was so much coming up about that.
Yeah. What I recognize, and again, you're not alone with this, is that whole overwhelm, busyness. All it's doing is it's trapping us, and it's trapping us in the doing, and it's actually not allowing us to put the stepping stones in place, as I'm going to say easily in like air quotes, because I don't believe things are always easy, and my stuff is certainly not silver bullet quick win, like, oh, make £1 million.
No, I still haven't implemented half of it, and it's really it's you've got to focus, right? It's not something that just like click fingers and it's done.
You do have to focus, exactly. But what I sense from you is two things. I've just written notes, otherwise like my short-term memory is terrible. But when you're talking about like this leadership and like what role you wanted to create, and how did you want your business to be, and how do we be less busy and actually make it more enjoyable and still get the returns and things, you already said your background was, you've got a really strong people management background, you've got a really strong procedures and processes background, you do have a great team background, and yet even you were burnt in the online space, and even you struggled to remove yourself from the doing. And I'm saying this because I speak to so many people like, oh, I know how to do this, but knowing the steps is not enough. You also
we're too in it. So even today, I've had a conversation with somebody, and we've gone through what you would call your task machine. Yeah. And I've just focused on marketing, and I've figured out what the gap analysis in terms of what I'm filling in the role, and therefore what I need in my next role as a primal skill set.
Yeah.
Now, from a talent dynamics, anyone that understands talent dynamics, I'm all 4 quadrants. So I think I'm dyslexic like you are, but I've never been diagnosed. My daughter is, and she has been diagnosed, and I'm exactly the same as her. It's not reading, it's taking in information, how we absorb information. Yeah. I'm fully kinesthetic, so I can't just read something and get it straight away. But like you, I have really vast skill sets. So from a talent dynamics, there's 4 corners. You have like a star, you have a supporter, you have an analyst, and you have like a really real beginner organized person. Just keeping it really simple.
Actually, not me.
The problem I have is that when I took that, I can actually do all of them. I'm 24 point something in all corners apart from one, which is the analyst at 20.6. So I can actually do it all. I am that weird person that can actually turn my hand to to all of it.
But then that's helpful because you fill the gaps, because you can.
I can, which is great as a business owner, and I know a lot of business owners are actually like that. But I'm looking at return of investment. So I don't want to be creating Canva images, even though I can, because that's not where my zone of genius is, right? And I'm simplifying it to keep it easy. But then when it was looking at the roles in my business, as I talk about from a wealth perspective, to remove yourself from the business, so that basically, not what I got fed up with is everything was going through me. So everything I had going on, I was bottlenecking everything, and it was like my email list was getting longer and longer and longer, and I'm not fully there yet, but I'm definitely better than where I was 6 months ago or 5 months ago. But I wanted to almost create roles in the business that meant that if I did have 6 weeks off, they weren't waiting for me for an answer on something, that it was more streamlined and more systemized, and the shit got done, basically. But what I struggled with was ownership. Quite often is the actual ownership of taking tasks on, and not just like, so you go from having a VA who has a list of things to do, and you say, go and do this, and they bring it back. Great, tick it off, they've done that. But it's still going through you. The ownership is giving them 20 tasks, a job description, and saying, own the shit out of that. And at the end of the month, then come back to me and tell me what you've achieved.
Tell me your results.
And by the way, this is what I'm measuring, and this is what's required. So if that hasn't been achieved, we need to see why that hasn't been achieved. And I was just like, when you first went through that, I was like, yeah, but they're freelancers, they're self-employed. Like, you can't manage them like that. And it's like, no, you still can. You can still do it. Obviously, it's contractually, it's different from employed to self-employed, but it's got me to look at the roles in my business and the role that I wanted to play in my business. And it got me to look, and I've made some big decisions through the mastermind I've been through, and the program that I've been through, is that I'm going to be doing one course, one mastermind, and that's it. And actually, I'm going to be in the online space with webinars and funnels and stuff to basically feed my regulated business. And that's it. But it's no more difficult than that.
You've also taken the next step in your regulated business to remove, I know this is a process, it's not fully there yet, but the plan is to remove yourself from a lot of the delivery work I've
taken on my first part-time IFA. So we've got a self-employed advisor who's worked with me for 6 years, and that suits fine. But I wanted the IFA that was going to come in to be employed. And that was a really scary step for me. So she's waiting for sign off. She's already observing. She just observed my last appointment. She's been working training role for the last 3 weeks. And it basically will mean the inquiries that we have coming in they won't all have to come through me. So again, if I take time off, the revenue doesn't just stop because we're no longer delivering, which when you have a service-based business is massive. And I want my role to be basically, I also now have a business development. I have a business manager. I call her an exec PA. She's not a normal VA PA. She's an exec PA. So she's used to working at senior level, like boardroom kind of level, employed previously. And so Ali is like manages everything. So she looks after everything. She doesn't analyze everything from a marketing perspective, but I'll be like, okay, I need to look at this in our next team meeting, and she'll add it to the agenda. If from a project perspective, from my webinars, she manages the process from A to Z. So I'm not having to go, oh, why haven't we done C yet? Like, why is this not like, she's managing those bits and pieces. So just shit does get done without me having to monitor everything. And again, we still need to, we're going through all our systems and processes. It's still taking time, but it's so much. I'm not loving all the comments, by the way. Everyone's going, I love it. Hello.
I can't. I'm afraid I'm terrible. I don't even have it up. I'm just so engrossed in our conversation.
Abigail said hello. Becky said, own that shit. Hi, Becky Wise. My love, how you doing? Ria said, this is so bloody inspiring. Hannah Chambers says, yes, I love this. I just talk for England.
No, but what I want to just go back to is, you talk about this support, like, and I think, like, let's be clear. I don't, the stuff that I teach and go through, it's not a silver bullet thing. Like, we've done it, we're never going to touch an SOP again. I'm never going to hire.
Far from
No,
it.
but it's about foundation principles so that you can use these, rinse and repeat. And as you double again your business, you can then put in the same things in place to ensure you can remove yourself once again.
Yeah, totally. And bear in mind, when I've already taken on 9 advisors previously, like I have run, I did it in 5 years ago, I did have 9 advisors working. I had a whole operations manual with a breakdown of training. And so I'd sort of know what I'm doing. But what I'm doing now is I'm managing it differently, and I'm coming from it from a top-down perspective. And my positioning is less, oh, I'm here for you, I'm here to support you, what do you need? And more, you're here to do a job, this is your job, this is what you need to achieve, and this is what we're monitoring, get on with it.
I know, and again, I'm going to come back to that in a second, because I think you're being very, like, I know you're being very matter of fact, and I'm really happy about that. But pause on the leadership.
Yeah.
I just want to go back right at the start. You said one of the things that drew us to working together was that you'd had an experience, it hadn't felt good. Where do you
really
feel
awful.
in terms of level of support now, and how your role, okay, again, not that everything's absolutely perfect all of the time, but how does it differ between, so I know you took time off in August to be with the children, like, tell me what this enables you, is enabling you to do.
So it meant I had some time off over August, which was really needed. So I probably, like, the first program I went with you was June and July, and the main objective was to get my email so that someone else was looking after my email inbox. That there was a team structure in place with agendas, so I could basically just turn up to the weekly call of my team, and I wasn't having to be all parts of all things in between. And so that was achieved, and it meant that when we then came into September, everyone knows I went into my book launch, but that was planned like months before, and all of that content and strategy was done weeks and months before. So it meant that, I mean, and there's, what's been interesting is there's things that haven't worked. It's not been perfect, but how I've turned up to the conversation is very different to how I would have turned up to the conversation. Even this last couple of weeks, I've been getting a bit frustrated with things. And I explained to someone this morning, I'm really not very happy about a few things and how they're going, and I'm actually quite annoyed about something. But do you know what? That's my fault, and how I've created this scenario, not in a blaming shame kind of way. I just mean of, right, I know I need to position this differently, and I'm not telling them what I need, and I need to, that the gap in my business is this and this, and I'm just showing up differently. But it meant that I've got better. I think one of the problems when you're a business owner, especially as you've been in it for as long as what I have, is that I would say I want to be like Rebecca when I grow up.
Who's saying that?
Becky Wise.
Oh, Becky.
So, I'm definitely not grown up. We find things easy, right? The things that we do, we learn so much, we absorb so much, and like, especially if you're good at processes, or you're good at talking to people, you're good at social media, you're good at the thing that you do, and you just say to someone, right, all you need to do is put a post, and you need to put it on social media, and you just do this and you just do that. And to somebody else, it's like, what did you just say? It just sounded like you said, I didn't understand a word you just said. And I don't really appreciate what I know, and I'm really good with clients, because I know that they don't know, to sort of flip it, and I'm really good at filtering how I deliver that. But with my team, after 10 years, I'm really annoyed about the amount of times I have to repeat the same fucking thing, and I'm really annoyed about why don't you just get it? Like why don't you just, it's really freaking easy, like you just do that. Like, why is that complicated? And I've had people who are astounding. I've had people in my team. There's a Becky who's my friend. There's another Becky. She was just a machine. Like, she'd pick things up like that, and she just, but not like they're just like a one-off. If I'm honest, there's not many people that are at that kind of like just get shit done. most people, they're like the normal crowd, everyday normal people, need it broken down. Like Katie in my team, she needs it like literally like paint by numbers. But I tell you what, she's like Van Gogh after that. You just tell her once and you've got the best outcome you could ever freaking wish for. But I know that and I can manage that because I get that about Katie and I've worked with her for 3 years. But when you've got freelancers, and she only works for me, but when you've got freelancers that are coming and going and you've got different scenarios, different skill sets, the needs of the business are changing, how you want to do things are changing. Entrepreneurially, we're going, oh, I'm bored of that now, let's do this and let's change that. And
new idea.
They're like, hang on the frigging minute, like, I haven't even finished what you told me to do last week. And you're like, what? You should have done that 2 months ago.
No.
And I just didn't really, it's made me slow down and it's made me loving the analogies. I do quite a few analogies. Paint by numbers. I'm using paint by numbers quite a bit at the moment. I have a freelance and I don't really like it. I have freelancers. Yeah, I'm moving towards bulking up some of the roles that I've got, and I'm now looking at taking on a marketing assistant employed.
Yeah,
that's my next thing. Because
no, come on, finish that, and then I'm coming in.
Yeah,
I've still got more questions for you.
Okay, because I'm really good at it, and I can analyze, and I can be the creative, and I can do the content, and I can steer my team, and I can do all those things. I can do it all. But I've decided I don't fucking want to. It's as simple as that. I've decided that I want to go. I want to be able to go, and this is what I thought my team could do. I want to be able to go, this is what I want it to look like. This is how we're going to do it. Now go do it. Yeah. And they just get it done. But it doesn't happen. And I recognise the reason is there's 3 key skill sets missing in my team, which I've now discovered. And there's one thing that I'm not doing as a leader, and I want my marketing assistant to do for me instead of me doing it.
Okay.
And I can do it, but I'm choosing not to.
Okay. So what I think is, for anyone watching this, it's
interesting perspective, Becky said.
Yeah, and what it's important to see. So what we've been talking about, mostly people know me as the team person, and I am calling bullshit to that, because that's just one fragment of what we do.
It's so much more than that.
If you think about coming into the work we did, the first program we did was very like practical focus. So it was all about what are you brilliant at? What's your business structure? Like, what systems have you got in place? How do we create systems? And what support you need? What roles? How do we find them, etc.?
It was really quite like more like, not administration, that sounds a bit naff, but it was definitely more on the practical, operational side of things. Where
I'm evolving, and you'll see something brand new coming out in the next few weeks, is that this whole what I recognize is knowing how to do things, just as we talked about earlier, is only one part of it. You've got to be able to own your potential and transition into a leader of the business. Otherwise you'll just stay stuck in the doing and nothing will change. And what I really love about what I've seen the difference in you is, and we said at the beginning, I was like, I really wanted to work with you. What was it? And I didn't articulate it very well. And I think what it was is that I sensed this really like powerful, opinionated, straight talking powerhouse within you that was being slightly tamed, and that was being slightly gagged at times. Not necessarily to your audience.
No.
Within your business.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I remember coming out of when we were talking more around you as a leader and how do you just focus on what things you're brilliant at, and I remember you saying to me, it's like, yeah, but in the past I've been too assertive and it's not quite right. And we talked through that about, no, well, actually, how do you want to lead? And you in this interview, I'm just like, wow, like, you are you.
This is me.
I'm not saying you were
this is me
before, but it was like a slightly more diluted version.
Yeah, and that's because I'm a regulated professional, and the perception was that, what I felt the perception was is I had to be a certain way, not because I care what people thought of me, because I don't. Genuinely, like, I do care that people are happy and like not upset, but if they think that they don't like the sound of my voice, then that's cool. Like, I don't really care, like, that's fine. If they don't like the fact me talking about my horse all the time, then just don't follow me, like, just defriend me. I will not be upset. But the version of me like 3 or 4 years ago, I've done a lot of personal development separately around my nothingness matters and my triggers. And anyone that knows me well enough, my mum left when I was 1, so I've got massive rejection issues, and I love my mum and I still talk to her now, but it did play a massive part in my business for a very, very long time. So then when it came to being authentic and about showing up, it's really hard to have like this sort of professional cape on and the version online that people see, and having, you know, there's a big difference between me running naked in TikTok or doing a live and saying the shit word. There's a contrast, and one's acceptable and one's not. And so saying the shit word on the live is absolutely fine, you know, like, because my clients that are paying me a lot of money and have a lot of money, they love me because I am what you see right now. And I maybe don't swear quite so much, but I think it's a level of confidence where you're going, I'm just going to be, this is who I am. And I think for me, it was just the case of, I was listening to everybody else. I was sort of doubting myself somehow, and I was hearing everybody else's opinion. And I've now got to the point where I'm like, hang on a minute. I know me and I am my business, and I know me and I know my business better than you do. Yeah. And actually what's right for me and what's right for my business, no one knows that better other than me. So someone else's opinion as to what I should or shouldn't be doing is actually irrelevant. And it's really how I want to show up and how I want that to look. And as women, I almost feel like we're made to feel that we're less than in some way, for whatever regard, whether, and I think money's got a lot to do with this, because we haven't had a whatever launch, or we haven't got a whatever size business turnover, or we haven't, it's rubbish. It's absolutely irrelevant on the size of your business. And that's one of the reasons why I've been able to step into where I am now, because I'm asking the question, is it aligned? Is it authentic? Does it come easy to me? And is this what I want to be doing? And if it doesn't answer those 4 things, then the answer is just get rid of it. Like, there's just no question. So there's many things. I've closed my free Facebook group. I'm closing my membership. There's lots of things I'm saying no to that I'm now not doing. And I'm telling my team and directing my team in a certain way. And I'm saying, I don't want to do it like that. Just because other people do it like that and that gets them results, it's not working for me at all. Business, personally, authentically, all those 4 things, it's not working. So it has to go. So I'm leading it.
That's the difference. See like, you are leading this now. And what I found fascinating, and you were the boldest to sort of start talking about this conversation, but in that very small intimate group, I think every single person raised a similar thing. They all done that differently with their leadership. Well, we are going to be interrupted in just a moment, because I can see my dad coming through the
hi Dad,
and I'm in his chair.
What's his name?
I'm going to have to draw this to a close in just a moment.
I want Dad to come in now. Come on.
I want my dad to come in. I'm not sure.
What's Dad's name?
This is Robert. He's
Farmer
a farmer.
Rob. Or was it Farmer Bob?
Farmer Bob. Not quite.
No, my father-in-law was Farmer Bob.
Oh yeah, that was my grandpa. But we won't go into that now. That's for a whole different story. We're talking about leadership.
Oh yeah.
Look at me. Don't look at you. Yeah. Could learn a lot. Anyway, I am just going to say thank you so much for joining me today, Rebecca, on this interview. How did he doesn't realize that we're streaming it live either, which is just hilarious. We are, if people want to connect with you, if they don't know you already, I know quite a few ladies in the commented do know you and in your world. What is the best way to connect with you?
Good question, because I'm sort of like changing how I do that. Just add me as a friend on Facebook is probably the best thing to do, or LinkedIn.
Perfect. Or we'll put your well, obviously they can find you on Facebook because we're here, but we'll make sure. What about your website? Let's put your website here.
So I got 2. I got RebeccaRobertson.co.uk and Evolution Financial Planning. And I'd love to hear from people. So I'm going to pop back in the comments. I'd love to hear from people what you're going to change based on what conversation you've just had.
There we go. That is amazing. Now, those of you who bear with us for the internet at the start, thank you so much. Apologies for that. And we're like, rolling with it. Rolling with it. But thank you so much for filling the gap as well, Rebecca. And I love working with you and can't wait for our next session.
See you tomorrow.
Muslin.
Take care.